Yeah, just listen. There's some rules in Overwatch, okay? Let me teach you the rules. If you're a new Overwatch gamer, there's a few rules socially that you need to follow in Overwatch. Here are the rules. Number 1, never tell players you're new. Ever. They don't have to know this information. Keep it to yourself. You have even private profile if you want to use that to your advantage. Nobody has to know that you're new. You tell someone you're new, they're immediately gonna jump to, oh, this guy fucking sucks. The other thing that does that is if you load into a game, and this is a very strict rule in GM. Never load into a game and go, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. Never, ever say that. Never tell your teammates that you think you're not supposed to be there. Because you know what that means? That tells everyone in the lobby immediately, this guy's really low rated. He is intimidated by everyone else in the lobby. When you're intimidated in a game with a bunch of other people, you're gonna play worse. Everyone knows that you're intimidated, and they're gonna make it worse. Most people are gonna end up making it worse. It sucks, but it's the truth. More golden rules. Always listen to whatever your tank calls. Not always, I guess I should say, but try to listen to what your tank calls. Now, your tank's a moron and just screams at people. That's one thing. However, though, if your tank's trying to be like, oh, hey, let's walk in here, or like, hey, like, let's do this. Yeah, it might sound like a terrible idea, but at least try it once. At least try it once or twice. There's a reason for that. There's something called the idiot theorem, which is you have one idiot who makes a decision, they're feeding. If you have 2 idiots make a decision together, it's a strategy. So now, if you at least have 1, 2, 3 idiots make the stupid play and a stupid decision, and you commit to it, sometimes it works out. Especially in the lower ranks, I'm talking your bronze to diamonds. Realistically, meta picks and strategy doesn't totally matter. Having strategy will always give you a slight advantage, but it's not as concrete and needed as you think. Every unranked to GM that is done in the last 6 years has proven that if you have the mechanical skill, you can bully your way through those ranks. However, though, when you get a little bit higher, you need to both learn the game sense wise, but you also need to learn to work with your teammates and trust them somewhat. You will never climb in Overwatch if you never trust your teammates. You'll never climb in any team-based competitive shooter if you never trust your teammates. There needs to be some level of trust. And I'm not saying to be perfect with it. I even do it sometimes. I sometimes play with somebody and I go, yup, this guy's already fucked up 3 times. I do not trust them in any way, shape, or form. But guess what? I then play worse. I have done it before. There have been times where I bubble early or I do something stupid because I'm playing my own life a little bit harder because I'm not expecting my Ana to bail me out or something like that. And they actually did. And you know what? I wasted my resource early and then I ended up dying for it. Or I ended up not having something to save somebody else. And it happens. It happens. I'm not saying you're going to do it all the time, but at least make an effort. My own personal rule is I try not to make people more tilted than they already are. If people are already tilted on your team, don't make it worse. Don't make it worse. Because if you do make it worse by like hard flaming and like saying some dog shit, like you've already just trolled the game.
Together,
like if you think someone on your team is trolling, you make it worse just by like starting the fight with them. Because if they're already tilted, you're gonna, like, even if they're trolling, if you think someone else is trolling your game, you, by starting the fight, are now gonna troll it. Like, you're now trolling. You had a chance beforehand with them just tilted. With 2 people tilted, now you have an argument. With 2 people tilted having an argument, now you have teammates that can't focus. So, I can't tell you how many games I've won off of the enemy team getting hard tilted and just trolling each other. So, I know it's a lot easier said than done, but as a competitive player, I've noticed this. When you get to the highest rank, I'm talking top 800, Grandmaster, Masters, the difference between a Masters player and a GM player, 9 times out of 10, is mentality. The difference between a Masters player and a GM player, 9 times out of 10, is mentality. Masters players, on average, are the ones that I always notice that pick fights. They flame their teammates. They're always passive aggressive. They're very annoying to play with. And you know what, though? They're the worst ones in the lobby. Even if they have insane mechanical aim, they're a detriment to your team. It's that Widow player who gets 2 to 3 picks a fight and then complains at everybody that you're not winning because you didn't push in the second that they wanted to, or doesn't say anything. The good players will make those plays and either say nothing or try to be helpful. Those are what the true good players are. That's why they're GM. That's why they're top 500. So don't be that guy. Even if you're getting a lot of picks and you're trying to do things, I understand it can be frustrating sometimes. But genuinely, if you're having too hard of a time not being a dick, just fucking shut your mouth. Just shut it. Just stop talking. Just literally stop talking. That's it. Oh, for quick play and comp. Hey, listen, dude. If you play quick play, listen, dude, if you play quick play and I ever hear of you flaming somebody in quick play, dude, dude, you gotta go outside. Find something else to do. Like, it's quick play. It's there for both fun, practice, a million other things. You have zero right to be flaming someone in a quick play game. Zero. Nada. Dude, if you don't like your teammates in a quick play game, just fucking leave. It's not ranked. Nothing's gonna happen to you. If you think your teammates are fucking around and trolling, and you wanna, if you're actually there to practice, and you're like, dude, I'm here to get better at Widowmaker, and my teammates just keep walking in and dying and like emoting, like I hate this. Just leave and queue another game. I know there's a new 50 wins thing, right? But here's the thing. It's quick play. If you're rushing through 50 wins to get to play to comp anyways, I promise you, you're probably not that good anyways. Why rush your way there so fast to play ranked just to get stuck in silver anyways? Take your time, learn the game, get good, take your time. If you also can't get through a quick play game without flaming people, you're probably not going to get very far. If you get flamed in your quick play games, link them in this video. Link them in the stream, link them in this video, fuck it, link them all of it. Let them know. You're a moron. What other rules of thumb of Overwatch are there? I mean, there's the more basic ones. If they have a Pharah, and you're playing the game, please swap to a hit scan. Not Soldier. Soldier doesn't work. Cassidy, Widow are your best picks. Reason being, Soldier does damage over time, not really good burst. Cassidy does good burst. Ashe does good burst as well. Widow does the best burst. So those are probably your best picks. Even Ana's pretty good, but those are basically to make sure your teammates don't get barraged the entire fight. Oh, and the tank player, you're not out of this either. You get to swap Diva. Make sure your teammates aren't getting destroyed the entire game because you don't feel like swapping. Which is the other thing, swapping. This is such a hard topic because you'll have teammates that are like, swap, what the fuck? And there's like a middle ground in here because sometimes you need to stand your ground and sometimes you need to swap. When do you do both? Well, my own personal rule of thumb is if somebody asks me nicely to swap, even if it's slightly passive aggressive, if we aren't doing well and I don't feel like I'm hard carrying, if I feel like I'm popping off and someone asks me to swap, I will laugh. I'll be like, shut up. Unless you feel it deep in your soul, ask them. This is the way I go around it. You know why? You'll understand in a second. I go, okay, what would you like then? And I ask them what they want me to swap to. There's two answers that come from this. One, they tell you a character. Okay. And then you can have one of two responses. Yeah, sure. I don't know if I'm going to do very well in this character because I don't play them that often, but I'll try. Or two, I'm not sure if this is going to really help, but hey, I'll give it a shot. Or I mean, the third one, you just shut your mouth and you just pick it. But the other answer to the first part of the question, or the first question is when they tell you what should you swap to, is they might say, I don't know. If someone tells you, yo, swap off Orisa, dude, what the fuck? And you go, sure, what would you like? What would you like me to swap to? And they go, I don't know. Didn't you just kind of win? Because they're too dumb to actually tell you what you should play. They just don't like that they're losing. That's it. I always say back to that. Well, I can't swap if I don't know what I'm swapping to. You're telling me to swap, so tell me to swap to something. And then more than likely, they're gonna have no clue what they're saying. And this is where you can go down one of two routes as well. Let's say they're like, well, then swap Diva. You can be like, well, I can swap Diva, but I don't really know how to play Diva that well. Which is probably not the best answer. The better answer is probably, Are you sure? I don't think D.Va's gonna really work here, but hey, if you really think so, I can give it a shot. Or B, sure, I can go D.Va. Can you go this, though? Because 9 times out of 10, people are not going to want to swap their own character if you ask them, they ask you to swap. So anyways, basically what I'm trying to teach you is there's a bunch of like little niche rules to Overwatch that people like take as law, but there's ways around it. And being able to navigate it effectively so that your teammates don't tilt and the teammates that are playing with you actually appreciate you are important. So if I had to give you one overall tip of like what you shouldn't or how you should interact with your fellow Overwatch brethren, I'd say this. When in doubt, shut the fuck up. The amount of times that I've won games by just not saying a word, or had teammates that are just absolutely just unhinged, I'm like, I'm just not gonna talk to them. I'm just gonna not say anything. Play the game, get in and out quick, and you move on.